30s, we have to have some advice to give. Let's get into all the juicy and dirty gossip. And the rest, well, we'll just figure it out along the way.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Structured Chaos. I'm Kyra, and today we're going to get into all of the thoughts that I've been carrying around all week. So, hello everyone. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Things look a little different now. I want to start off the episode by expressing that without Kelly, there is absolutely no way that I would be able to start this and that I would know what to do. So I am forever grateful to her. She taught me so much, and I really am going to miss doing this with her, truly. But I am so excited to kind of switch things up and start this new journey. And thank you guys for sticking by and coming along the ride. And I'm just so excited for things to come. And bear with me throughout. I kind of just have to get into the flow of everything and see how this is going to go. It may not be perfect. It'll be an ever evolving project. So stay with me. Don't have super high expectations right now, don't want to let anyone down. But I am really, really, really pumped to kind of take this in a different direction. So kind of just to catch everyone up, since we last all met up, the holidays have come and gone. Now it seems like they were, 2 months ago. But yes, so December I took off and kicked it off with going to Disney and celebrated with all of my other friends who have December birthdays, which it was so much fun. And, I do walk that fine line of being, a Disney adult. I certainly don't know the ins and the outs of the park or wake up thinking about Disney, or anything like that. So I think that's where I find comfort in knowing I'm not a full Disney adult. I'm not getting a Mickey tattoo anytime soon, or, honestly ever. But it's like, it is literally the happiest place on earth. And like, what better place to be during Christmas time than Disneyland? And so for me, it's like, I'm not going for the rides. Truthfully, everyone, I'm not a big ride person. Age is real. And, the equilibrium really gets messed up. The vertigo gets going, and like, no, thank you. But I'll stand in line with you. I'll have a great day. Don't worry. But I'll be like the mom on the side, just holding on to everyone's things while you guys go enjoy the ride. Like that's my role. I mean, I definitely do some rides, but Tower of Terror, or, formerly Tower of Terror, I think it's like Avengers now, or Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not doing it. Not doing the drop. It ain't for me. I did it a couple of years ago, ruined the rest of my day. I felt dizzy. I felt nauseous. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be enjoying myself. So you know what? I'll just wait in line with you guys for the rides from now on. And we saw the parade, we saw Santa, they have it like decorated so perfect. And we went, I swear to God, on like one of the best days, because leading up to when we were going, like I was seeing like major crowds, and I was like, oh God, like I don't want to wait in these long lines. I mean, I am just there for vibes, so whatever, but you don't want to go to like a super packed park. So we honestly had the best day, the best weather, not a lot of crowds, like very easy to navigate around. It was wonderful. And a tip to anyone who doesn't know this already, who goes to Disneyland, always park in the Toy Story parking lot. That's where you park. You don't park in Pixar. You park in the Toy Story parking lot. You nix the line to get in. Way easier to drive in and out. You're not waiting in this long line to park. So that's the hot tip. And then, as we're there, it just got me thinking, like, how in the world are families affording this place? I'm just me, a childless person who gets to spend whatever. You want $19 for a churro? No problem. But I'm sitting here looking at these families like, how are you not like taking out a second mortgage to come for the day? Like, my friend brought 2 stuffed animals for her kids and it was like $100. And like, of course you're going to buy the stuffed animals, but like, what if you have 4 kids? Like, and that's just one stuffed animal. That's not the balloons, the food, the ears, all of the things, the t-shirts. I'm sure kids want t-shirts. I just walk around like not counting people's, bank accounts, but I'm just wondering, like, do you need donations? Like, I would need donations, It's so expensive there, but beautiful and fun. And I don't know, I guess just it's worth it, of course, but good Lord. And then I also was exhausted. And again, just responsible for myself. And I got home and I'm just like, I need to take a day off tomorrow. And it's like, if you're a parent, like, you don't get any days off. So shout out to all the parents, and especially the ones that are going to Disney. It's just like a lot. So you guys are superheroes in my eyes. And then we went into my birthday. And so that was super fun. I didn't have a girls' birthday party this year. Like, weird things kept happening. 2 of my friends had surgery. One had emergency surgery. Like, it was just like a whole thing. And I was like, the energy isn't there. We need to not do this, So that was sad. But I mean, I still had a great birthday. I got dressed up, went to dinner, had a great time. And again, like, everything's always decorated for the holidays, so little pre-drinks, everywhere that we went was like super pretty. So that was really, really, really fun. And then I spent Christmas with one of my friends that I grew up with. And earlier in the morning, it just had me reflecting a little bit because, when you are single and you don't have children, nor do you live near your family, holidays can seem heavy. Holidays can seem hard. And I've spent holidays alone before and have been perfectly fine. I'm not saying that in like I was like, by myself. I'm always invited somewhere, by a client, by a friend. I'm never at a loss of opportunity to go and be somewhere for the holidays, which I am forever grateful for. But it really did get me in this mindset of reflection to just recognizing that just because things look different from the way that they used to be doesn't mean that they can't bring you joy. And Christmas was so magical for me growing up. My parents always did a great job. And I think, again, it's always going to hold a special place because it's like around my birthday. And then I grew up in the Northeast, and that's when we like used to like get a lot of snow and all of that. So everything was so picturesque, growing up. And things look very different now for me. And it helped me like just be so appreciative of those times, because having the foundation of all of those great memories allows you to find joy in whatever version of that you get now, And so just because it's not, my family and what I used to be around, I had the most magnificent day. I talked about my friend and her three children before and how I like love them. But that's who I spent the holidays with. And it was their friends that came over, and the weather was beautiful, which it wasn't supposed to be. So we were just outside. I mean, like all of the kids were there. One of the moms said to me, she was like, "You are brave deciding to come here." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?" Like, I loved kids. I love kids. I loved the chaos. I loved how much fun they were all having. And then also shout out to these moms because they were so smart. Every single mom brought an activity to do like every hour so that the kids were like doing something different. I mean, from a tablecloth, like a color tablecloth, to cookies, to Play-Doh, to like, I mean, everything. Like, I was like, wow, like this is so smart. And the kids never bothered me. I mean, not that they would, but like they were in their own element, you know, like they weren't bothering anyone. Like they were just happy to be. And so, yeah, so Christmas, like it was just, it was so great. It was so great. I loved it. Thank you, Lauren, for inviting me. I had a wonderful, wonderful day. We had just so much fun filled with laughs and games and great food. And it was really, really cool. Um, and then I also, right before the new year, I had the opportunity to see my fifth grade teacher again. And it was so wonderful. It was such a great day. And like, how crazy, because I grew up in Connecticut. So obviously, it's not like my teacher taught locally to where I live now. And coincidentally, he actually lives in Japan. And his daughter, I want to say like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe, his oldest daughter, out of, they were living in Japan already and had been for a while. She decided to go to school out here. So it's like, of all places. And him and I have always, you know, kept up and kept in contact or whatever. And so I saw him one time, I believe, like I said, like 7 or 8 years ago when his oldest daughter had just come here. And then he was here for the holidays. His youngest daughter also goes to school here, and his oldest daughter like has moved here. And so, you know, for 3.5 hours, we just sat and talked, and we could have easily spent another 3.5 hours together. And it was so great. And I mean, it's so funny too, because I was his first class that he ever taught. I think it was like 1998, 1999. And we just like had this connection. Me and my two best friends would like, just like, it was his first year teaching, and there was another teacher, and it was her first year teaching. And we were on the same wing, and we would all just like hang out all the time. And him and I were talking about it, and he was like, "You are the same person from when you were 10 years old to now you're 38." And like, I do always feel like I have had an old soul, and I've just kind of always been able to be in whatever room you put me in. And so it was so funny to like talk with him, and he was just like, the fact that I'm like thinking about like me hanging out with this teacher and I'm 10 years old, and like we're now, when I'm 38, still having like the same conversations. Like, it was just so funny. And it felt like we had not skipped a beat. Like, it felt like I saw him yesterday, you know? And he was definitely that teacher that made an impact on my life. He was, oh my gosh, like I just have so much love for him. And, you know, we were talking, and I was telling him everything, and I was expressing to him how, you know, this is what I'm going to be doing, and this is kind of how it's like going to be changing. And I really am nervous. And he was like, "Kyra, you've been doing this since you were 10 years old." He's like, "You're going to be fine." You know, because I am very nervous to be talking by myself. You know, I wonder, like, am I going to have things to talk about? And he was like, "Yeah, he's like, you've been talking since you were 10. And it's funny because I was telling that to my friend a couple weeks ago, and they were like walking, to get something in my kitchen, and like he like looked back at me and he was like, what are you nervous about? And I'm like, well, what if I like just don't know what to say? And he was like, Kyra, you don't stop talking. Which, like, yes, true. So to hear both of them kind of say the same thing was really funny. And gosh, we just had the best day. And again, the weather was perfect. We actually had to move inside because it was so hot. And I really did have like such a great holiday season, winter break, whatever, you want to call it. And then, New Year, we got a ton of rain. I guess shout out to California. We're officially out of a drought after 23 years, maybe 25 years. I could be wrong about that, but either which way, over 20 years. And so it was nice, honestly, to stay in on New Year's. I mean, I always stay in on New Year's. This is, I think, year number 7 for me where I stay in. But if you don't know, I make a vision board every single year. And so it was nice. I worked, I think until like 4:30, and it was just like so nice to work all day, come home, relax. It's early enough, and then I just sat and got everything done and started the new year off in the way in which I like to. And the rain was coming down outside. Like it was just like really, really like peaceful. And then, January 1, all that Christmas stuff is down and we are ready to go for the new year. So that is what I've been up to. I guess also too, like in the midst of all of those activities. Oh, right. I was also rebuilding this podcast. So I did my photo shoot. Again, thank you to Kelly for teaching me certain things, because like when it comes to all the techie stuff, like thank God I had this 6-week time off, because it took me, I'm pretty sure that ChatGPT at more than one time wanted to reply with like, you're dumb, just hire someone. But I did it. And, again, guys, bear with me if some of the things are a little off. So yeah, I did my entire rebrand during that time. And even down to the photo shoot, it was super fun because, my friend was my photographer. She is a photographer and she did my pictures for me. And so, she was like saying like, Kyra, like this was great. And it was honestly, I've done a couple photo shoots, for both my hair business and this business. And when you and the photographer have the same vision, it's like chef's kiss. And so I am very organized when it comes to things like that. So I sent her, I had my outfits on every page of what I was wearing. And then I had I sent her like a lookbook, like these are the outfits that I'm wearing. And then down to like the separate pages of like this outfit, I want these poses. And so we were just like, boom, 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 like, let's go. And she was like, I love like how organized you are. And I'm like, oh, this is where I thrive. Like, this is my thing. And so the photo shoot was so much fun. And also too, just kind of like having a vision in my mind of like what I wanted this to look like and trying things out and seeing like, oh my gosh, like it's working. Like the things that I want to be are being. And so like that was really cool and like very empowering. And again, it was just one more thing to like step into the new year doing, that I felt like really, really great about. So that was cool. And yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. And obviously, yes, this is going to look a little different now, but don't you ever for 1 second think that this is not still a sports podcast. So naturally, I have to catch everyone up on what happened this weekend in sports. We are now in football playoffs, so I did not get a chance to watch all of the games, but I did watch some. Panthers and Rams played. The Rams won. Very close game. That's the game that I missed that I really wish that I saw because it was like a really, really good game. Packers and Bears, I did watch that game. Phenomenal game. I was rooting for the Bears the entire time. I'm so sorry. My friend Corey, he's a huge Packers fan, but I was going for the Bears. They were the underdog and they were losing pretty much the entirety of the game and came back and won and then in the last minute, the Packers still had a chance, and I thought they were going to do it. So yes, so we saw the Rams win, the Bears win, then the Bills Jags played and the Bills won. And I'm sorry to our official ChatGPT correspondent, Jake. He is a big Jaguars fan, and unfortunately his team lost. So both of my friends had their teams lose. But then my third friend, he's a big Niners fan, and the Niners beat the Eagles, who are the current reigning champs. So shout out to the 49ers. They're still going. And then Patriots Chargers last night. I am not a Patriots girly. The New York Giants have my East Coast team. That they are my East Coast team. They get my love. Not a Patriots fan, so was not rooting for them. They played the Chargers, formerly San Diego Chargers, so of course I was rooting for the Chargers. Didn't turn out well for the Chargers, but they had the love there nonetheless. So Patriots beat the Chargers 3-16. It was like honestly a very lackluster game. And then tonight we have the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers playing. Truthfully, no skin in the game on either team, but for the sake of it, because I loved Houston, I'm going to go Houston. So we shall see. But even if you aren't a sports girly, you're probably not listening to this podcast if you're not a sports girly. But, playoffs in any sport are so much fun. So this is the time. If you're going to, watch it with your man, now's the time. So that's our sports recap for the day. And I want to get into, I feel like, obviously, yes, you guys have seen me for the past year and got to know me, but I do want to say I feel like you guys just got a little piece of me. And when I have thought about the show and the direction that I want it to go, I just want to be more open and vulnerable with you guys. I think that I kind of like held a bits of me back, and the things that I am most proud of about myself are that I am very relatable and that I have been so fortunate to be in the career that I'm in and be surrounded by such incredible individuals who have taught me so many things. And I am just like naturally a very inquisitive person. I love to seek out information. I love it. And so I just hope what I want this show to be is to be a vessel of knowledge for anyone, for a variety of people, for a variety of different things. And, I am so proud of myself that I have had 38 years to be selfish and to get to know who I am and to get to know my likes and my dislikes and kind of just like experience life in a different way than some people are able to because, they have spouses or they have families or, both. And I just like get to be unapologetically selfish. And so I think with that, I have just like learned a lot. And naturally my brain like loves a pattern. And as people, we all have patterns. And so doing what I do for work and then just like being a very social person, I'm able to kind of see different patterns play out. And I feel like I have a lot of insight and knowledge to share with everyone. And so going forward with the show, that's like what it's going to be. We're going to talk about like much more in-depth things. Like we're going to be talking sex. We're going to be talking mushrooms. I'm going to be telling you dating stories. I'm going to have some guests come on who I am so lucky to even be able to know, and on top of like not even being able to know them, but like they're open to coming on the show and talking. And like, I don't work in corporate America, but I want to be able to like share something with you guys, to be able to, learn from people who are like in incredibly high powered positions. Like, how did they get there? And I'm surrounded by like the like largest group of badass women in my eyes. Like I look up to every single day. And so I'm so lucky to have all of them in my life, and all of them support me. And I want to be able to share, some of their knowledge with you guys. So yeah, I think that this is just it's going to be really fun. It's going to be exciting. I am going to, I'm going to do some street interviews with people, and I, of course, I can talk Bravo all day long, and don't worry, like that's not going away. It's just not going to be an every episode type of thing. So I am, of course, always going to recap. I mean, especially right now, we have so many Bravo shows going on, but I do want it to expand outside more of that. And so, yeah, I feel like I want to be a place where everyone can get something from, and that you're laughing along the way. And, again, like we are all just trying to do our best and figure out life. So that's kind of like the direction that the show is going. And that's, what everyone can look forward to. And with that being said, you know me, I'm a big universe lover. Some would say I'm a little crazy. I definitely have had experiences and situations where I've talked to people who have passed, where, I, I've manifested a lot of things for my life. And I think that also is helpful of how I'm able to be here today. I think that one of my superpowers in life is I've always bet on myself. And this is the first time in my recent adult years, like this is like, I'm truly betting on myself right now. And I hope to empower everyone to know that they can always bet on themselves too, because at the end of the day, who's the person who knows us best? So if something feels right, go for it. And if it feels scary, go for it even more. And I've had a lot of great feedback from my friends and my family, where I have expressed that I am a little nervous to do this because it is all on me. But I feel it in my bones that this is what I should be doing and need to be doing. And it's so funny because I have a friend who, I would always be like, oh, I'm going to get this. Oh, I'm going to get this. Oh, I know I'm going to have this. And she's like the world's biggest pessimist. And no, okay, sorry, that's not true. That's actually very much not true. She is always like, are you sure? You know what I mean? Like she's like a weary person. Like she's like, sounds good. Sounds a little too good. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget when she told me that, she's like, I never believed in manifestation before you. She was like, I just watch it happen for you. And like, I have to believe in it, And so that kind of like gets me into why I do my vision board, why I like to start my year off this way. I just feel like sometimes people look at the new year as overwhelming, or just like they roll their eyes. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, everyone's going to say new year, new me, nah, 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 you know? But I just look at it in a totally different way. And I look at it as an opportunity to grow and reflect on the last year. What has been working? What hasn't been working? What do I want to like focus on? So for me, I like to choose a word each year that I kind of like am always in the back of my mind, like this is my word. So my word this year was improve. So, that's improve my sleep, improve my health, improve my relationships. It's everything. It's not just one specific thing, but I'm always, I have the mentality of improve, 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 because there's no measurement too of like how what is a satisfactory, oh, did you accomplish it? It's like, if you improved anywhere, great, then you did it. I also saw someone talk about how what they like to do for the new year is they write a list of more and less. And it really like clicked to me too. And I was like, yeah, that's like a really great way to like have balance and like not feel overwhelmed, or not feel like, oh, I'm setting like a specific New Year's resolution. And she said, be as niche as possible, like more more sleep, less housewives, which like clearly would never be my list. It would be reverse: less sleep, more housewives. But you know what I mean? Like, it was like just like little things like that. And I thought that that was like a really awesome idea. So I'm sharing that with you guys. If you kind of do feel overwhelmed, or feel like, ugh, it's a crock of shit, this whole new year, new me, like maybe just do that, because I'm a person who's like very visual. So anytime I like write something down, it like holds more power in my mind. And I just always want to reiterate and double, triple, quadruple down on really like prioritizing the things that you want for your life and getting into that mindset. Because, guys, I'm telling you, you can do it. And I always want to be the person that's going to encourage you and let you know like anything is possible. Which brings me right into the year of the horse. So I'm not saying wake up every single day and live your life by the zodiac signs. I am not. Or by the Chinese New Year. I am not. But there is something to it. So if you don't know, we had 2025, we were in the year of the snake, which was a hard year for all of us. So in the Chinese zodiac, the year of the snake is like a very hard year for everyone. Now, if we're not talking about the, zodiac and the Chinese New Year, I think it's safe to say we all had a pretty tough 2025. There was a lot of ups and downs. So right there, proof pudding, So we are getting out of the year of the snake, which we are shedding all of our old skin. We are shedding all of the essential like dead weight that we have carried on. And specifically for us Sagittarius people, we have been in like a 9-year like crazy cycle. And the year of the snake was really hard for us. And the year of the horse, which is now 2026, is like our year. But I mean, it's everyone's year, but selfishly, it's really a great year for Sagittarius as well. So shout out to us. We deserve it. We've been in a really bad 9-year cycle. But guys, like, again, even if you don't believe in it, just give it a shot. Just give it a shot, because why not? The year of the snake kind of, it's meant to teach you lessons. So it's meant to kind of, put in the groundwork, give you your hard lessons. It can feel emotionally heavy. And the year of the horse is like the payoff year. So that's when you're going to embody all of the energy that you just had to shed from the year of the snake, all like the bad energy. Now we're embodying all of the great energy. And again, like this is good for every single sign. We are emotionally and spiritually going to have a great year. We are growing up. We have ultimate optimism this year. The horse is very powerful. So financially, the year of the horse is really great for everyone. And I really do truly believe in these things. And as I was reading everything about the year of the snake, oh, it's also really funny too, because I get an envelope every year for Chinese New Year from my client. And I love all of these things. I always follow these things, but I've never had so many people reach out to me, like telling me about the year of the snake and the year of the horse. And I was just like, yeah, guys, I get it. So it's like even those little signs from the universe where like everyone wanted me to know, like, oh no, Kyra, because if you've been around me, you've known like I have been very nervous to do this. And everything in the description for the year of the snake and the year of the horse has like been exactly what I have been experiencing. And so I just want to let everyone know we're all going to be okay. We're all going to get through this together. And it's going to be the best year. And I am just so excited for what's to come. I'm so excited for the opportunity to be able to connect with all of you on a very different level. I think you're going to see more of my like funny, playful side come out, my sarcasm come out. I, I, I just know that this is going to be great. And I'm so just over the moon about experiencing it together. And I really, really, really just hope that everyone walks away like feeling connected or feeling seen or heard. And, we're going to get into a lot of different topics. Some heavier topics, some mental health topics, some family topics. And so all of that to say, like, I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. And, the new year is just new chances. If you're not someone who loves it, just maybe try to like flip the switch a little bit. And it's so easy to just get caught up in our everyday routines and think like, well, what is one new year day gonna like change for my life? But it just gives different perspective. And I'm excited and I'm nervous. And even when I was like picking out photos for my vision board, it kind of just like all comes together and like everything in there. And what was really weird is before I had like set up what my new background was going to be, I had already picked something for my vision board that just like spoke to me. And then, but I had simultaneously like already ordered things for this new backdrop. And I looked at the picture as I was like placing it on the board and I was like, oh my God, this is going to look like the stuff I just ordered. And so it's just like little things like that. So I am here to be your little witchy girl from within and tell you guys, plan, do your vision boards, have like a little fun date night with your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, your family, all of you guys. Just like get little ideas together and sit with one another or sit by yourself or write something down. This is going to be a great year for all of us, guys, and we're all on this journey together. So let's do it. And the rest of the month, I'm going to be talking about different things that I do to kind of like set myself up for success in terms of like mental clarity and things like that. So I'm going to get into some mushroom stories next week. You know, a lot of the times they tell you not to take drugs, and this podcast is different because on this podcast, I actually love to tell you to take drugs. Just kidding. Mushrooms are not a drug. They are what I like to consider a life tool. For mental clarity and for so many other reasons, but we will get into that next week. Thank you guys for joining me on my very first solo episode. This was incredibly nerve-wracking. Again, once I like continue to get into the flow, it will get better. I did it. We did it. Thank you for sticking with me. Again, I'm just so excited for the future. And so I think that's all I've got for you guys today. My message today is kind of just be a little catch up, a little what I've been up to, how to look forward to the new year. Please remember to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All of the places can be found in the description below. And make sure to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm Kyra, and this is your reminder that having it mostly together still counts. See you next week. Bye.